In this video, I am going to tell you about the ability to control fire. So let's start. My dears, the ability to control fire was a dramatic change in the habits of early humans. Making fire to generate heat and light made it possible for people to cook food, simultaneously increasing the variety and availability of nutrients and reducing disease by killing organisms in the food. The heat produced would also help people stay warm in cold weather, enabling them to live in cooler climates. Fire also kept nocturnal predators at bay. Evidence of cooked food is found from 1 million years ago, although fire was probably not used in a controlled fashion until 4 lakh years ago. There is some evidence that fire may have been used in a controlled fashion about 1 million years ago. Evidence becomes widespread around 50 to 100,000 years ago, suggesting regular use from this time. Interestingly, resistance to air pollution started to evolve in human populations at a similar point in time. The use of fire became progressively more sophisticated, with it being used to create charcoal and to control wildlife from tens of thousands of years. My dears, fire has also been used for centuries as a method of torture and execution, as evidenced by death by burning, as well as torture devices such as the iron boot, which could be filled with water, oil, or even lead and then heated over an open fire to the agony of the wearer. My dears, by the Neolithic Revolution, during the introduction of grain-based agriculture, people all over the world used fire as a tool in landscape management. These fires were typically controlled burns or cool fires, as opposed to uncontrolled hot fires which damage the soil. Hot fires destroy plants and animals and endanger communities. This is especially a problem in the forests of today, where traditional burning is prevented in order to encourage the growth of timber crops. Cool fires are generally conducted in the spring and autumn. They clear undergrowth, burning up biomass that could trigger a hot fire should it get too dense. They provide a greater variety of environments, which encourages game and plant diversity. For humans, they make dense, impassable forests traversable. Another human use for fire in regards to landscape management is its use to clear land for agriculture. Slash and burn agriculture is still common across much of tropical Africa, Asia, and South America. For small farmers, it is a convenient way to clear overgrown areas and release nutrients from standing vegetation back into the soil, said Miguel Pinedo Vasquez, an ecologist at the Earth Institute's Center for Environmental Research and Conservation. However, this useful strategy is also problematic. Growing population, fragmentation of forests, and warming climate are making the Earth's surface more prone to ever larger escaped fires. These harm ecosystems and human infrastructure, cause health problems, and send up spirals of carbon and soot that may encourage even more warming of the atmosphere and thus feed back into more fires. Globally today, as much as 5 million square kilometers, an area more than half the size of the United States, burns in a given year. So my dears, this was our video. Now I wanna turn it over to you. Have you liked the video? Then tell me in the comments. My dears, make sure to subscribe this channel so you don't miss out on my future videos, because you know future videos will be awesome. Goodbye, stay blessed, and bundle of thanks for watching.